Live, and
Hey.
we are live.
Hey,
Cool.
hey. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy. Welcome back to another episode of Strands. This is episode 4 this week, in which me and my lovely friends here all get together and we play a homebrew version of Dungeons & Dragons in my world, the Scar Islands. You're tuning in for another fascinating week of what we're going to do some awesome things. So before we start, let me introduce everybody. I'm Callan McHale. You can find me at Callan McHale on Twitter, or The Positive DM and chat on Twitch, or at our Discord, which is full of wonderful people. And go ahead, Lily, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lily, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am just a little nerd, and I do lots of voices, and I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I do other stuff. So find me there, and I'll be in chat as Lil Tranrak. And over to Matthew.
I'm Matthew. You can find me on Twitter at MatthewKenRBM, and I'll be in the chat today as protagonist with a bunch of numbers in exchange for vowels. You can find me here, and I don't have too much social media, so that's about it. And I'll pass it over to Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey, KCH on social media. And I am also found somewhere on another time slot on this channel as well, sometime during Saturday mornings. And then you can also find me over at Sabric's channel doing Planescape game. Pew, pew, pew. That's the ranger. That's what rangers do. And I'm playing Vitruscape today, and my views and opinions, the views and opinions of my characters do not represent my own or those of the channel. And I'll pass it on to Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl. Today I'm playing Teleps Vardariana, as a wood elf rogue. On the social media, you can find me at Carl from the Net or the Silver Tree, depending on your social media of choice. And I'll go back to Callan.
Excellent. And last, but definitely not least, let us say thank you to our sponsor, Campaign Coins. You can find these lovely group of people who make awesome coins and D&D props and other things at campaigncoins.com. We always greatly appreciate their sponsorship and all the stuff that they do for us. You will also find us at our wonderful Discord. If you ever want to find an awesome group of people that get together and just talk about nerdy, awesome things and are super supportive and are probably one of the best groups of people you can find on the planet, check us out at our Discord and Open for Adventure. And last but not least, we have a wonderful Twitter that you can find us at Open for Adventure. And if you don't catch this episode or you're telling your friends about it and they want to watch it, you can always find us on the YouTubes for Open for Adventure as well. In which you can just watch it if you need to catch up and your friends need to get in on the action. Anything else for us, Carl? Or is that, are we ready to go?
You nailed it.
Excellent. Well, all right. So before we begin, I'm going to recap today, and I get to do the wonderful recap. So last we saw our ragtag band of misfits. They were still in Snowberry trying to figure out what was going on in the woods. And as they searched and searched for the dead bodies that they were supposed to return or hopefully live in, they came across a owl bear that attacked them. They succeeded in destroying the owl bear, and Vitruscape did a wonderful job of melting it with tons of acid. But just conveniently, after poor Teleps had to take quite a hacking and a ragdoll kind of a attitude, as he had to wonderfully step out of the way from his wonderful bodyguard. And then after that, they continued to search.
Alleged bodyguard, because that hasn't gone over so well.
I don't know what he's paid him for. But you definitely also have a wonderful event right afterwards where they battled some cultists or some sort. They battled one cultist that had 3 zombies with this cultist. And after he died, he said, I would die 10 times and 10 times again before you. And fell over dead. I'm confusing, of course, the party in a wonderful manner, but not before the horse rider, the mysterious horse rider with the human bearded chin and the tendrilled arm, ran off with his rhine mare, a frozen demon horse of some sort. The party grabbed the bodies, grabbed the cultist, brought everybody back, and announced to Madame Angela, the keeper of Kalimvor, or cleric of Kalimvor, what was going on. Madame Angela then gave them some insight on the Riders of Rhyme, an old cult group from about 80 years ago that tried to sack and destroy the capital city of Aeronoth, known as Crest, or Heaven's Crest. And if Teleps had paid attention in school, i.e. rolls a little better, he might have done that already, but hey, you never know. So, and then after they discovered that information, they kind of regrouped and regathered to talk about a little bit about themselves and what was going on, while Teleps took a long conversation with Madame Angela in the temple while he was getting healed. The other three players kind of talked amongst themselves and got to know each other a little bit better, and hash out some confusion of a little bit of PvP that might have taken place during the combat of the cleric due to some misfires that took place. And that is where we kind of left off. Is right, they were going all to bed. Teleps was trying to find a way to get to sleep, and everybody else was going up to their places to go to bed. And last but not least, there was yet again. Crises saw for just a moment a hidden robed figure yet again watching them from a distance before he mysteriously disappeared. And that's kind of where we pick up. So the bard sits down and he says, my friends, it's good to see you again. Another Wednesday. We're going to get together and tell stories about these strands of light. Well, let me begin. Where were we? Oh, that's right. They were just waking up from their long rest in the night tavern of the Blue Blizzard. Right, so let us begin. And he starts to conjure his, magic, and we see our heroes, each in their own rooms of the Blue Blizzard, waking from a long night's sleep and epic 2 battles, and you are all in your each separate rooms, enjoying your morning, and you smell the fresh, hot smell of baked pastries and strong mead being brewed. For the morning breakfast.
Teleps, you alive?
Goy!
I let myself in. Hey, Teleps. Glad you're alive.
I pulled the blanket. I pulled the giant. So after I finished with Madame Angela, where we just had a conversation over wine, that is all. I went and I got this, the giant suite at the inn that we're at. So everything is giant sized. So I'm in a very large bed. So I pull a blanket over me.
I've knocked on 3 doors because of this upgrade, I woke up at least 2 other people who should have been awake anyway, but that's okay.
Yes, I'm alive.
Yes. Did you learn anything last night from Madame Angela? We kind of left you there. Admittedly, there wasn't much I could do for you.
No, I pulled the blanket off.
Hey, Fletch. Oh, Fletch. Oh, yeah, look at my face. Yeah.
Fletch is running around the bed now. You stirred him up from his rise, too.
No, I was just filling her in on the latest news it was the latest news. The news that was current when we were back there, letting her know what was going on.
Well, I learned something interesting. Vitterskaith and Crisis are both insane, near as I can tell. Vitterskaith thinks she's a dragon, and I half believe that might be true. And then Crisis, I don't know, she just does whatever Vitterskaith says for reasons I don't understand entirely. So they're nice enough, but let's keep an eye out.
Well, the dragon thing puts her, vomit spray in another perspective. So that was quite disturbing. As a dragon, I suppose that's less disturbing. So.
Oh, that was amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, that's one of my favorite parts. But and her eyes are kind of weird, but mine are too. I can't pin her down. But she has some story about being a dragon that got turned into a person and is trying to get revenge. I don't know if it's true or not. whether she's crazy or whether she's legitimately a dragon bent on revenge, caution should be used either way. So, and yeah, they are certainly more, as we talked the other day, there's much more than they appear. And I suspect there's things we don't know yet. So keep that in mind.
Very well. Yeah. I roll my legs off the bed and I hop down and I start getting dressed. It smells good out there. Let's get some breakfast.
Yeah, you're very aware that Teleps is standing now pretty much face to face with the edge of the bed. So as you guys go down to breakfast, there is a woman named Ellen that's down there. You've seen her before. She's a heavier set woman, but very kind and sweet.
Hmm.
Did we lose
A
Callan?
woman of not very many words.
Take a seat. I'll get something to eat. What y'all want?
Oh, okay. Callan, we
we're
lost
back?
you for a second there. Yeah.
Okay, so Ellen comes. You come downstairs, and Ellen, you see Ellen, the heavier set blonde-haired woman that you've seen before. She goes, "Oh, how are you doing? You come on, take a seat. What y'all want to eat?"
Whatever you have cooking, it smells delicious. I'll have some of this.
Oh, you want some of the apple pastries? We'll get you some of those. What about you, big guy? What you want?
Whatever you have, just a lot of it.
Like overloads her.
Go back and forth.
Hi.
I'm good. I think I'm good again.
You're good now.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, cool. Don't touch anything. Okay.
Crises is in their room just planking, building up that core strength. And will probably stay like that until somebody comes and gets them.
Likewise, I am also holed up in my room, counting and recounting my 270 gold pieces just over and over and over.
So Ellen comes over to Leps and she says, "Well, here's your apple pastry and here's your guys' food. So are y'all guys headed out today?"
I believe that is the plan, right?
We're certainly heading out that front door at some point today. So,
well, I mean,
from there we'll
okay
see.
I'm okay with serving you as much as you want to pay. Don't hurt my feelings if you don't want to leave.
That was a weird way you put that, Miles. Are we not leaving? I thought that the reason that we found those people was to get the mountain pass cleared. And
Well, but it'll be cleared for a couple of days. And wouldn't you agree that this is an interesting town to look at?
Oh, Snowberry's been the most interesting town you'll ever find in this nice little valley here with all the blueberries.
Yeah, well, what else is there to see here since we're here for the day?
Oh, goodness. There's, if you haven't seen the church, there's a church, but I think you guys have, considering you came in here looking quite scruffy last night and covered in Madame Angela's balm. And then you had, you've got the obelisk in the front. There's always an obelisk in each town that tells you a little bit about the history. So you can read a little bit about history of Snowberry, how it was created. And then there is, there is a couple breweries down the way that you can go take a look at. And if you want to, one of the farm folk will kind of show you how they make their breweries and their brews. And I think it might be in season. You might get one of the good winter ales coming in season since it's about that time. And then there's a couple of farms. You can see the I think that there is an Arnok farm, not Radagast because he's a little grumpy, but you can find another Arnok farm. I think his name is Jordan. Jordan can show you his stock if you're interested in some beasts of burden or some meat.
Well, great. Well, thank you for that very much. We'll need a moment of privacy.
of course, yes, this is a very interesting town. But why would we want to stay here? We want to go back home, do we not?
Well, we are really far away from home. How much money do you have on you, Teleps? I went through my things. I've got like 5 gold.
I have enough. But
For a man of such simple tastes as yourself, I'm sure that's not true.
but that is even more to the point. We are short on funds, so time is of the essence. We need to get back home. Why would we want to stay longer and prolong our? I don't want to. I mean, it's not exactly misery, but we are here against our will. And why would we want to maintain this lifestyle?
Well, let's put it this way. Radagast last night more or less tried to ride us out of town and seemed to think leaving would be the best possible thing. And you know, I'm a
great.
contrarian by nature.
Everyone's on the same
Makes me want to
page.
stay. Why do you want to leave so quick?
I want to go home. I have a very comfortable home. Why would I not want to return to it?
Because
are
you would
people
have to
waiting for me?
walk. You'd have to walk hundreds of miles to get there.
We have to. I mean, there are multiple ways to get there. Walking is a way, but if we do not walk, then we will never reach home. This seems
And maybe there's a faster way here, a magical way here in Snowberry. We'll never know if we don't ask and investigate.
what makes you think such a way exists?
I mean, what makes you think one doesn't?
At this point, Crises will just like float down the stairs in like pure anime boy style with their long gangly body and just like peer down at them and like, morning. Boss up yet?
Haven't seen her.
Good morning, Crisis.
All right. She'll show up eventually.
Hey there, Crises. Would you like something to drink or something to eat, doll?
Yeah, whatever you got.
Okay, I got meat or I got pastries. What you like?
Pastries, I guess. I could use some sweetening.
Okay, well I'll get you an apple
Um,
pastry then. What about your
we'll
boss
sit
lady?
down.
What she want?
Ask her. I never try to guess what a woman wants. Complicated.
That is a wise decision. I will go get you stuff. She
If I
meanders
can,
back.
if I hear Crisis's voice through the wooden walls, then I'll exit as well.
You can hear Crisis. It's pretty quiet so far in here.
Hey there, boss.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You want some pastries?
No.
Need some sugar in you?
No. I will take protein.
All right.
Do they have protein?
We have some leftover Ornox Snow from last night. If you'd like some of that,
Leftover what now?
Ornox Snow
Arnox Snoo.
stew.
Stew. Yeah. Yes. That's the best.
It's
you
like-
I'll take it.
It's like a slide. It kind of looks like something got beat over and thrown in a bog.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try it.
That doesn't sound that great.
It tastes delicious though.
If you
Looks
say
can
so.
be deceiving. And she grabs a bowl to warm up.
Hey, Teleps, did Hot Stuff here fill you in about the Radagast thing that happened last night?
He did mention that this Radagast fellow was eager to see us on our way, and I will stand up and make sure that everyone has a seat. I will adjust. And I'm very confused. Miles seems inclined to not leave right away. Is this Vitrus case? Is this something that you are also desiring to stick around?
Yeah. No, we're going. We're leaving. He can stay if he wants. We're going.
Got nothing to do here but drink and die, apparently. Is that what you're looking for, Hot Stuff?
Who can imagine a better way to pass the time?
Seems like a very
You say
finite
so.
way. One of those ways. All right. Well, Miss Vitruscase believes that we should be on our way. I'm sorry, I do not quite understand. The memories are not quite there yet. Crises, are you in the employ of Miss Vitruscase?
I do things generally. She calls me a general.
Which explains why you do things generally.
Yes,
Very well,
I
all
take
right.
care of the general things. Killing people, getting stuff, the basics.
General manager, general.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would seem that you would be of the same mind as Miss Vitriscase.
Yeah. Boss goes, I follow. Only thing here that's a mystery still is that hooded figure we keep running into and disappearing into places, but they're not really bothering me, so I don't really care, I guess.
If that's
don't
a
really wanna
problem,
end
we'll
up-
find out what it is and then we'll kill it.
Yeah, what she said.
All right. Well, Miles, it would appear that you are quite the contrarian, as you are the only one who wants to remain here.
You have known this as long as we've known each other. This is not a surprise, nor is it exactly a democracy, but if everyone wants to go, fine by me.
You some kind of hipster, Miles?
I just don't like a lot of things. Some things I don't know I don't like until it's recommended. It's just how it is.
Well, it seems to me like that town that we're supposedly going to meet those twins at might be a good place to start looking for answers, if we're looking for answers, or we could just start hoofing it back to Crest, I guess.
Well, it
need
seems
to
that
get-
that place would have a dock or a port that would make travel back to Evans Crest swifter. At least that is my destination. I do not know where everyone else wishes to go.
Yeah, where are we going, boss?
Well, I'm still intent on finding this woman that they sent us to get
Hmm.
because
We
they
don't know
promised
anything
us.
about her.
We have a picture. That's what we have to go off of.
Hmm.
Often difficult tasks are of high value. So if we do succeed, remember, not only will they give us 5,000 platinum, but also they will tell me the whereabouts of the person that did what they did to me.
Mm-hmm. Seems to me, boss, like we got to find those people also, though, if we want to collect on that reward. And I think they're supposed to be over in that town, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I say we go over there and we renew our deal again and ensure that it's still on and maybe get some more information about these people. We can accompany tulips and hot stuff over here in case we get in any trouble and then go from there.
Sound.
Yeah, so off to we'll have some breakfast and then we will be off to Goldsport.
We do need to, crisis, do not forget that Radagast will owe us if we leave this morning.
Yeah, extra bonus fee. He promised. Where's he at, anyways? Thought he'd be here. Or is he meeting us outside of town?
At that moment, conveniently, the doors open up and the heavy wind of the snows blowing, snow and ice and snow from the ground up. As you see the wonderful summoned friend Radagast standing there in heavy furs. He pulls off his hood and standing there with his cow ears and nose and brown skin. He stands and he goes, "All right, you're up. Good.
Shit, you got big ears or something. You hear me call you from all the way where you live?
Huh?
I was literally just talking about you. It's weird as shit.
Yeah,
I'll
that
just
happens from
keep
time
eating
to
my
time.
pastries.
I mean, I did tell you that I was coming here this morning. I'm actually surprised you're up a little earlier than I thought. So I'm gonna grab some breakfast and then I've got some stuff outside for you guys, and then let you guys head on your way. And he goes down to sit and orders a beer and some leftover stew from Alan.
Want a crescent?
No, I'm good. I don't do the sweets too much. It's not my style. So if y'all come to a decision, are you guys heading out this morning? Like, we
We
were
are.
hoping.
We expect that
Excellent.
extra bonus on top of that.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure that's left in the cart for you as you ride out. So, I saddled up your horse there, to Lips, if you're good with that, and so that'd be big enough to pull the cart. I gave you a hooded cart. Cedric was kind enough to get you a hooded cart from his some of his wares in his house, and we also got you some heavier furs because you'd be traveling the frozen wastes, and even the toughest folk, if you don't got enough fur, you're gonna be pretty cold out there. So we've got that, and I guess how familiar are you guys with the frozen wastes and wastelanders?
How familiar do you think we are?
It's about what I expected.
You see these people?
Right. So if you go out there, just make sure rules of the road, right? So if you come across a traveler and end up traveling with another traveler, rules of the road state that you are to protect the traveler. If a town member and people, majority of a traveling group, state that you left somebody to die or left somebody injured, basically fled in cowardice. You could be put to some kind of judicial problem. Some towns hang people. Those are smaller towns, and some people, sometimes towns just exile you. You're not, basically, you're not gonna be able to find yourself a place to stay or sleep for the evening if they find out if you're not a friendly traveler.
What if they're not a friendly traveler? What's the point of that?
Well, if they're not a friendly traveler, they'd be the one getting the noose. So justice is done, because wastelanders are a dangerous, plague to the area. Any type of undead, any type of wild beast or creature, or we even refer to wastelanders as anybody who's a wildman. Some people that live out beyond the cities, and didn't really jive with society and kind of do their own thing. Long story short, you see a wild man or a white wastelander, you're probably going to get killed. So they're not going to be friendly.
Well, shit. All right. We'll keep an eye out for them then.
Right.
I'm sorry. Radagast, I am confused. It sounds like we are expected to be on our best behavior, and if we see someone in need, we should offer that assistance, which makes absolute sense. Why would we withhold such a thing? But you're also saying stay away from certain individuals. Did I hear you wrong?
Right.
Yeah,
no.
we're supposed to stay away from the ones that are going to kill us, but we're supposed to be nice to the ones who are traveling in groups. If I understand you correctly there, Radagast.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's supposed to be. I mean, it's gonna be really obvious in the wasteland. Wastelanders are usually wide schools, guests, skeletons, zombies. Most of the undead that didn't make it in the waste, they get for some reason kind of enchanted out here, and they find their souls are angry at the. We usually jokingly say that winter's hate gets into them, and they spend the rest of their lives trying to kill those who could make it through. So the lore is that wastelanders were here when the first Arnos came to siege Galdoon. A lot of the deserters and scouting parties didn't make it while they were scouting out the wastelands. They're filled with such hate and remorse for not having a hero's death that they or remorse from their disgrace that they kind of got cursed in the unlife. And I don't know if they talked with Orcus or if they just told Orcus that they wanted to come back and kill people. Not sure. We don't really care. Kill them if you see them.
Yes, that clarifies things. Thank you.
So the twins that told you they were going to Goldsport, how much did they pay you in the town to take care of us? Do we owe you anything?
Oh, no. I mean, they didn't pay us anything really. I mean, they just the 3 days that you were here were really at Matt and Angela's idea of keeping you guys safe and keeping you guys alive.
Here's what I cannot figure out. So you've put together a covered wagon, furs, clothing, provision, maybe hundreds of gold worth of stuff, and you're paying us an extra just to leave.
Well, I don't know about hundreds.
Why? This
of
whole thing stinks.
I mean,
Miles, come on. This is just obviously a very kind man, and we are at. I apologize for my companion Radagast.
Yes, he does not speak the entirety of the group.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful you kept me alive, but does no one else think that this is completely suspect? That a poor little town in the middle of nowhere scrounges up hundreds of gold to get 4 strangers out of town.
My wife used to tell me, and I had some friends that used to say this popular phrase, "Who hurt you, my friend?" He pats you on the shoulder a little bit and says, I don't know what you had as a childhood growing up, but, out here, there ain't nothing but the wind and snow to kill you. You know, you got to stick together. So, you know, I'm trying to make sure that you can, you know, you seem disoriented, new, you don't know your friends that well. So least I could do is get you set up to head on your way where you need to be, you know, safely and soundly.
I
So I
pull.
believe
Insight
him.
check.
Okay.
I was gonna pull Miles aside. Miles, clearly, he recognizes that we are, a cut above the rest, and he just wants to be in our good graces. It makes sense to me.
So let's think of it this way. If we were dealing with the Ataturks or any of the other people with whom you associate, and a stranger showed up, would any of them deign to give even half the support that everyone in this town seems to be providing just to get us out of here?
Well,
Now,
I
I know you're different. I know the Vardariana is a different kind of family, but think of literally anybody else with whom you've ever associated in your life in the social circles of Heaven's Crest.
Well, if
This
if
doesn't
they
make
could be
any
seen,
sense.
Well, what'd you get, Crises?
18.
18. Okay. It's very nice, and it seems very odd that he is doing so much for you. You see in his eyes that you're not sure if you can tell it's maybe fear, but you're not sure if it's fear of you or fear of something else that's causing you to be so kind to try to get you guys to leave. But you do feel, even in his kindness, that he's pushy about getting you out as soon as possible, because even a kinder person would strike you as from your morality of confusion, that most nice people are not telling you to leave while they're being nice. They're usually offering help when you're searching for it, not offering you help while they're kicking you out.
So Teleps and Miles are like off to the side, right? And we're just at the table with Vitruscaith and Radagast?
Yeah, essentially.
I'm gonna like lean back and sort of like lean towards Vitruscaith and take a hard look at Radagast and just say, listen, I'm the last one to really dig deep into feelings or emotions and this and that, but I got a job that I got to do generally, and that's keep this one safe, pointing at Boss. And there's something, I don't feel things too much, but I feel something coming off of you, and it looks scared. What are you scared of?
Yeah,
If I can, I'd like to throw an intimidation on that as I'm just sort of like cold glaring at him.
I'm like sweet as pie next to them.
Nice. 21.
Okay. You're the seriousness of your conversation strikes him deep, and he looks at you and says, mean no offense, Crasses. My concern comes from your well-being, and there are things that Southerners don't really know about us Northerners or understand culturally, and you being from so south and from Crest, it strikes me that some of you maybe not even be from Crest, that you may not be familiar with some of our ways and customs. And I just
Why don't you just tell me about them then, instead of all of this beating around the bush? What are you afraid of?
I can
He
promise you that we are going to be the last people to judge you.
He leans forward and he looks around and he looks at Ellen, and Ellen nods her head just slightly, timidly, but and she has a little bit of fear in her face too. And he looks around to see that luckily there's only a couple of the people in the bar. He lowers his voice and says, "Look, everything here is not like it seems, and you need to understand that what you found in the woods may not be as uncommon or surprising as some of us may know. And I don't know who's who, and I'd like to make sure you get out safely before somebody that is important decides you shouldn't." And he kind of like
Insight check that.
Okay.
13.
13. So he's telling that truth, but it's hiding something else as well, which is that he is afraid for your safety, and that it's something, the looting of these cultists and this cult rising. But he is also, there's a second motive too, that may be some kind of personal gain for him, and you can't put your finger on what it would be.
Shit, Radagast, I thought you were this really nice and straight, narrow guy, but you got some stuff going on. I can respect that. But as long as me and my people stay safe, I won't pry too deep into your affairs. But just know that between me and hot stuff over there, we could very much kill probably everyone here. And I wouldn't even bat a fucking eyelash about it. So just keep that in mind when you're holding on to your secrets.
He nods his head just slightly and says, based on the looks of your friend to lips, I don't have enough faith in your abilities.
That was to
That
Leps.
guy-
That was nobody else. The rest of us came back unscathed.
I let him get hurt like that. It's good when Tulips gets a little bit of battering from the wind. It makes him stronger, grow stronger.
I think the thing I'm trying to get at is that the way to lips looked is not too close to how you guys would look with things like this.
Crises, I do believe that the fellow is trying to do us a favor. I think that is a potentially solid warning.
Yeah. I gave him a warning. He gave me one too. We're good.
It was an
Just
adequate
gonna eat my
transaction.
croissant.
Radagast brushes his fur off from the porridge that he, the stew that he had. He gets him, says, "All right, well, I'll be seeing you out there when you're done. I'm gonna get out there, get everything ready and prep for you so you guys can get out of here. Have yourself a good time. I'm gonna be outside when you're ready." And he grabs his hood, puts it up, and walks outside.
What'd you make of that, boss?
I don't really care what's happening in this town. Why do you?
I don't care. I just don't like it when people are shifty. I like it when people say things straight. That's why I hang out with you. You just say whatever the fuck you want. It's
It's
great.
fair enough.
But that guy's got something he's holding on to, and it better not fucking kill us. You know what I'm saying?
Most people have come off like that to me. Most people have something to hide. Most people don't want your nose in their business. That's not unusual to me in any way.
I got nothing. Is that weird?
A little, but it's not bad.
All right. Oi, Tulips, hot stuff. You done with your little powwow heart to heart over there?
We've been done for a while, just eavesdropping for now.
What'd you think of that Radagast thing?
I'm with Vitterskaith. Who cares? If they've got their
All
secrets,
right.
that's one thing. Just go.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Jeb comes wandering in as you say that. Stumbles in. He says, "Ellen, if you get me two, I'd be appreciative." And she grabs 2 drinks. She says, "I'm already working on it, honey. Don't you worry about it." And he sits down at the bar, at one of the stools, and starts, just talking about life, and, how hard he's got it. "I was in the snow last night. It was so cold. Woo, it's getting chilly. The winter's really, really taking hold here." Ellen's like, "Yeah, dear, it gets pretty chilly. You can always stay in one of the smaller rooms. We got you something here if you need one." He's like, I know, but I can take care of myself." She's like, "Well, all right, dear." She hands him his second drink.
I walk out.
Same.
Leave a tip for Ellen. Head out.
Radagast put a bunch of extra clothes in the cart for us.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
So when we walk out, is he still out there?
Yeah, he's out there. He's standing. When you come out the door, it's a flurry of snow. It's pretty coming. It's coming down pretty heavily. Radagast, you see him, in the distance, short in the distance, about 15 feet away from you. To your left side, he's standing near where he would, wrap up the horses and carts if you were coming into town to grab something to drink. And he says, Hey, over here, you guys. I know it's hard to see over here, but, you get used to the snow. And he kind of waves it over, and he starts pulling over these long cloaks that look like they've been kind of tailored up a little bit to your guys' sizes. He starts passing them out to you guys as you guys walk up.
I turn around and let him don it on me.
flaps it out and just kind of drapes it over your shoulders.
I reach into my pouch and give him 5 copper as a tip.
He takes it, shakes his head, and puts it in, opens up a pouch of gold coins, puts it in the thing, zips up the pouch. And
We are off to Goldsport. I do not have a map on my person. As you know, I see you have provided many things for us. Is perhaps a map in here, or maybe you could draw out the direction since we are not familiar with the landscape here.
Yeah, so we got you a smaller map from one of the local townsfolk. They got it in the cart with your general supplies. So get some rations and stuff for you. You got about 15 days worth of rations for the rest for all of you. So keep it light. You know, it's just jerky and stuff. It's not going to be something that's, you know, it's not a hefty feasty meal. Not something you're used to. You know, and the cart's going to be a little unpadded for you there. You know, for your royal butt. So and he hands the sack that put the 5 copper in to Vitruscape and says, "Here's the wrist." As you guys are making your way out, and I can't thank you enough for coming to town, helping us with the problems, and I hope you find your friends. And he leans in close to Vitruscape and he says, and just quietly, just enough for her to hear it, and he goes, "If you're really looking for some information, I have a friend in Goldsport. His name's Malios. He probably
Malios in the Dragon's Horde.
Yep. You can find him. He's got pretty good lore. He knows a thing or two. Just don't forget it. You know, go in there, find him. You'll find him. He's probably there. He's here most of the year. He's been there for a couple of years now, so he knows a good bit about random things. So might be somebody that you're looking for. He might know where your friends are."
Very good.
And
we don't need to meet up with Angela and her giant friend, do we? We can just go.
no, Garanov's already probably half asleep by now.
Excellent. Okay.
And then Angela's doing her thing. So unless one of you guys want to, you know, chat with her, I'm sure she would enjoy the company.
Nope.
Is there anything between here and Goldsport?
Not anymore. There used to be the ruins down south, and then now you just kind of get to the 4-way cross.
Four-way crocodile? 4-way crocodile.
4-way crucible.
If you go north, 4-way crossroads.
Oh, okay, crossroads. Okay. Yeah,
4-way crossroads.
That's where we
four-way crossroads, right?
Lost
So
you.
yeah. And then and then the north, you get if you get to that crossroads, you can go north to the tower. Some fancy wizard lives up there in the north tower. And then if you go south, southeast-ish or southwest-ish to Goldsport. And then if you just keep following the road straight, you end up going pretty much east to Sapphire Stop. But so you're gonna want to go to the crossroads and then head kind of southwest.
So there are no other towns or attractions between here and Goldsport if we were to go straight to Goldsport.
Nope. That's why it's called the Frozen Wastes.
Very good. And how many days travel is this?
It's probably about, with the heavy snows, probably 10 days. If you get light snows and you get some good weather, probably 7. It just depends on how much horse could go about 40 miles a day. So I'd say, yeah, you probably got, about 10 days if it keeps up like this. But there are some travelers travel back and forth, especially at the crossroads. There's a couple inns at the crossroads and stuff. It's not like it's, there's nothing there, but when you're talking about big cities, those are the bigger cities. There are a couple stops you can make if you're trying to make it. There might be some small farming areas out there that are, trying to make a living with some of the livestock or some of the wilder creatures. Then every once in a while you may find, I think you go about about 2.5 days out, and then you kind of come off the beaten path. I think there's an exotic dealer there that's I remember his name correctly. It's Gerald. But Gerald is he deals in exotic pets. If that's your kind of thing. Wouldn't be a place I'd sleep the night at, but if you like yourself something weird like a polar bear or something, you can find something like that.
All right. And how many days is it from here to the crossroads?
Crossroads, about 3.5 to 5. About midway, probably almost dead center from the rest of the towns. So But like I said, there's an inn and stuff in there you can sleep in. I would sleep in the cart, or I would kind of try to make some kind of camp, or find some kind of there's some places that you can kind of try to keep warm. That's why I gave you some of those blankets in the back of the cart and stuff. You might be tight sleeping next to each other, but it's better than being frozen.
All right. I guess you've been a very good help. I will be sure to tell all of my friends who come up this way to, stop in and say hi. Avail themselves of your services. Obviously, if I was going to rate these things at the scale of stars, it would be 5, I think, out of 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be telling anybody that to come here. Not probably a great place to come. Not much here besides the brews. So. And we usually export those, so you don't have to come all the way to Snowberry.
Well, you are too humble, in my opinion. You are clearly a fine gentleman, and I thank you very much for your assistance.
You're quite welcome. He shakes your hand, excitedly. He says, "All right, well, I'm gonna go back to the house, warm up. So you guys take it easy." And he kind of starts walking off.
Crises is already in the front of the cart with like the furs just piled up around under their butt, but they didn't like pull it up or anything. And they're just like sitting there cross-legged, cross-armed, looking back at Tulips like, you didn't kiss him? Is that how you say goodbye when you're all fancy or whatever?
Maybe in some places. That is not my custom, so.
Oh, I was hoping for a kiss later, but all right, no worries. Shall we?
Crises, get up. I'm going to check the cart.
All right. I trudge off, dragging the blanket behind, or the fur behind me like a little kid with its blanket.
So yeah, I'm just going to check the cart and make sure that there's no secrets in there,
No bombs under the axle. When we turn it on, it goes up.
Also, the bag of money.
Right. So as you open the cart, you don't see anything in there. And are you just opening the bag of money to try to count it, or are you just looking inside to see what's in it?
Just looking inside to see what's in it. Make sure.
Yeah, I mean, you see
money.
an array of copper, silver, and gold in it.
Okay, excellent. All right, put that in the bag of holding. All right, looks clear. No.
All right.
And grab a fur.
So this is a covered wagon. So I guess room for 1 or 2 on front, and then the wagon.
Yep, there's two in front, and then you could fit all 4 of you guys in the back, but it'd be tight to lay down in it. But it is long enough to where they kind of made it makeshift, where it's kind of long enough. It's just four wheels, so it's it's long enough to have the you guys kind of lay down. If you're laying down kind of next to each other like sardines, you can probably fit in there pretty okay.
So we're old American pioneers crossing the prairie, but in the frozen wasteland instead.
Yeah. Scar Island pioneers. Yep.
Well, yeehaw!
So
Let's
like Canadian
go.
pioneers.
Canadian pioneers.
So as you guys make your way out, you do pass the obelisk, and there's a man standing there, and he's a statue with he's like a half giant. He's got 2 war axes, and you see a placard in the distance, where you see him. That's obviously got some writing about who he is, and then it's got some directions of things, and it basically says Galdoon, and it goes kind of towards the south a little bit, and then it goes towards where you're headed, the valley, which is kind of out, and it points to the crossroads.
As we pass the statue, I'll just look at it, pass, and go, beefy. I bet he was delicious.
It's like made out of stone, boss. You can't eat
No,
that.
when he was alive, it's an effigy.
Oh, I haven't seen one of these before. How'd they make them?
Magic.
Magic, some handy stuff.
Indeed, it is.
I know it's like snowing pretty heavily or whatever, but I want to keep my eyes open around us while we're traveling for, these apparent wastelanders. That I want to keep an eye out for the people we're supposed to be nice to and the people that we're supposed to avoid.
Oh yeah, about that. We're not actually going, as after we're out of earshot from the entire village, we're not actually going to be stopping for anybody, right?
Well, if there are travelers on the road who are in need, I don't see why we would not help.
That's not a safe thing to do. You don't know them. You don't know what their intentions are. You don't just bring them up on such a crowded space already.
I
Be
know,
right
exciting,
next to
isn't
you?
it? You don't know
You
who
know
they
what?
are. You don't know what they're capable of. It's thrilling.
I usually follow your lead, but I gotta say, out here in these frozen wastes with all of those wastelanders, zombie skeletons, whatever that guy said, it might be good to have some, bait or
I hadn't thought of that.
extras that we don't mind dying so much.
And we can throw that one at them and then make our way.
Yeah,
I like it.
It seems to me that in this place there are people we're supposed to be nice to and people we're supposed to avoid because they're going to kill us. So we might as well make the best of both of those resources.
I like it. Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
So
Agreed.
yeah, I'll just be keeping an eye out for friends or foes.
Yes, we should offer assistance to any of those who need it. For we are all in this together, and we do not want anyone to suffer needlessly if we have the means to save them. I mean, look at all this grace and generosity that we received from Radagast. How cruel would it be to just keep it for ourselves?
I just look at Vitruskave and I'm like, are you here? Did he hear what I just said?
Tulips.
Tulips, you're such a spring flower. I love the way that you bloom. Of course, we'll help out anyone we come across.
Great,
Don't
I'm
you
glad
worry
that we
about
are on the same page.
Oh, totally. Like we're writing the same fucking book together. I look out for bait.
Do you,
Uh,
do you see what I'm talking about?
I do not
Oh,
know if
yeah,
it-
man.
Teleps, just talking to Teleps. You see, remember I said this morning? You see what I'm talking about? Not that I disagree with them tactically. That's great, but yeah.
Fletch is sitting in the cart, staring outside, wagging his tail, and trying to bite at the snow, right, while it floats down on his nose.
Yeah, so we're going like pretty slowly, right? I imagine.
Yeah, it's just heavy. It's just coming down, but it's not like wind gusts kicking everywhere. It's just heavy. So you can only see about 30 feet out from where you're at.
I'll actually be out of the cart, walking behind, steaming gently in the snow, just walking.
I use shape water every now and then to refreeze it right over him and just keep it going. What else do I have to do?
Sure.
Yeah. And Teleps is just in the back of the cart.
I'll poke my head out every now and then. So I guess depending on the configuration of the cart, I reckon there are it's like a curtain or something I can pull out. Say, how are you getting along with Socks? Socks is the name of the horse. Is he doing all right? Do you have experience driving a wagon such as this?
Nope. Seems like it just goes though. Nothing too hard about it.
Well, I guess if you can if you need any assistance, I am happy to help, and I will be back here if you need anything.
Can you like sing me a song or something?
No.
Are you sure? You seem like the kind of guy that knows how to sing a song or two.
I am flattered that you count me as someone with this talent. However, this is not a talent that I possess.
Can you like tell
Sing
me a
one
story?
from the Ruination of Twilight. You have that memorized.
I am not a performer. You are very kind, also, Miles, to think I would be able to perform this very talented, these very complicated songs that are from the very fine play.
Hey, so if we do go to Goldsport and find these twins, what are you two interested in them for? Are we all on board with like, maybe squeezing them for some more information about how we got from Crest to here? Like,
I am very off-put by the predicament that they have put us in. I surely would like some recompense. However, I have no illusions that we could find these people who are so powerful as to ensorcel us into not even knowing our own will for 4 weeks at a time. So I mean, if we do get our hands on them, I would very much like to exact some revenge or get something for our trouble.
Tulips. I didn't know you had it in you.
But I am mostly concerned with just returning home.
All right. Crises goes back to driving the horse and staring out into the snow.
So you guys you guys ride for about 8 hours. And you guys are starting to get a first level of exhaustion as you are getting tired and the snow is starting to kind of take its toll. Even with the warm furs, there's only so much warmth that you can hold in.
How long does the light stay up in this snowy climb?
And you can get about 12 hours of light right now, anywhere from 10 to 12. And as you start to notice you're getting less and less as you're starting to make your way more out of town because of the way that the snow cover is in the clouds. It seems to be kind of a cloudy kind of cover at all times.
This sucks.
Well,
Crises is just thinking of all of the ways they can murder these twins when they get their hands on them, but also thinking about all of the money that they might get. And that's just what they're focusing on during this 8 hours of cold, frigid snow.
So, I mean, it is getting pretty close to dark. Do you guys want to push through the dark or do you want to go?
is there any spot that looks, given my experience, like a good place to set up camp?
You are still there is some forestry and stuff nearby, so you can kind of see, you can maybe make the edge of the forest line just offside the road, because you are still coming out of the valley at this point. But outside of just some forest cover, you're pretty much going to be a camp at the edge of the forest / if you want to be inside the forest, which is also dangerous, given your owlbear encounter.
This looks like a good place for camp. Right there. Pull it over.
Sure.
Get out and stretch my legs a little bit, and then get back in.
Okay,
I'll cut off some tree limbs and stuff and try to make a fire and somewhat of a campsite around with the tree line here, and then the cart here, and then the road over that way.
Give me
So
a
you're kind of
survival check.
protected outside.
Give me a survival check. And if anybody wants to help him, you can do it at advantage.
Nat 20. Woo!
Nice.
So you get real lucky, and you seem to find
Yeah, I do.
So you seem to find some dry wood in one of the trees. There's like 3 or 4 trees that are covering this one tree, so this tree isn't getting hit by any snow besides what's on the base. So you start to carve off some branches that seem to be dry enough, and you kind of clear out this section of snow that seems to be in this nice cover from 1 or 2 of the heavier pine trees. And
Hey, Crisis, light this up while I get the firewood.
I don't know what he means, so I cast light on them. Yeah, sure. I just stand there with my hands in my pocket over the sticks that are just like glowing. Weird fucking request. All right.
Can you ignite them as well?
No, I just cast light on them and then I just stand there with them. Yup.
Just Gaith?
Can I use prestidigitation to just make a spark happen?
Yeah, you can make a spark happen, and if you do it enough times, you can start to get something.
So my hand is the flint and tinder.
Yeah, you could do that. If you want to use a survival check to see if it kind of starts up, you can, and if you want to have aid, you can try to use that too, just to make sure that it does start and does catch.
That's 5. So I'm just like, eh.
She makes the attempt, but it's looking pretty difficult. So
I will go over and just produce.
Fire's not really my
hand.
thing.
Let's go over and produce flame in my hand. Just light it.
okay.
It's all right. I didn't think it was. I was really just seeing what you two could do. Glad to know I'm the hot stuff of the group, I guess.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
breathe fire, but I'm not going to do that on a bunch of sticks.
I'm like, I make the light, it glows. That's kind of my thing. I'm stuck.
I mean, that was neat. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
While Miles is gathering firewood and stuff, can I see what I can do about making a little camp beneath the wagon so that we can have people in the wagon and beneath the wagon in relative comfort.
Yeah, that's fine. So go ahead and roll me I guess a survival check as well.
That's a hot 11.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you clear enough snow that you think it can work. You could also, as you're clearing the snow, you're wondering possibly if you could just sleep in the cart if nobody's going to sleep in the cart, right? Because it's going to be kind of wet on the ground.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it hospitable.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you seem to clear what you're trying to clear and accomplish the task. And if people are going to sleep under the cart, you could maybe set up some blankets to where it's under the cart, Oregon Trail style. And that works. Who's taking
wander
watch?
around? Yeah, I'm gonna take a watch. The first watch, I guess.
Okay, so you take first watch. 3 watches is all you need. So for an 8-hour rest. So who's taking first, second, third watch?
I'll take another.
Okay, so you're taking second watch and
I'll take the third. And I'll just be sleeping by the fire all night. Just build that sucker up and sleep next to it.
Okay, so go ahead, Lily, then, and roll me a perception check.
We're not actually. Are we exhausted yet?
You are exhausted because you're first watch still, so you haven't slept yet.
Okay, so that's a disadvantage.
Correct.
Great. That's a 3.
It's 3. Okay.
It's fucking cold. I hate the fucking cold.
Yeah, you seem very cold and very, very disoriented, but everything seems to be okay from what you can see. So go ahead and Casey's. You wake up Vitruscaith, so Vitruscaith gets to take the second watch. Vitruscaith, go ahead and roll your perception checks.
9.
Okay.
It's pretty low for me.
You are very frustrated at the cold, obviously, as well. And it starts to pick up. The snow starts to pick up even heavier than what it was. So your vision's starting to get more and more blurred.
Also, Miles is just bright, and
Yeah,
everything he's around is just bright. And
it's like shining.
It's a little bit
reflecting in the snow.
irritating.
All right, but it seems to be uneventful. So, third watch would be your Genasi friend. So go ahead.
Wait,
Miles.
can I sneak up on him without him waking up first? I want to do a thing.
I mean, if you can beat my passive,
roll a stealth check at advantage.
Oh, that's a 12. Oh, I'm rolling so badly.
My passive perception is 12.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll allow it because he's asleep. So he's not really. His passive perception is probably 10 at natural sleep mode, right?
So
when he's not using his eyeballs.
I creep over him and I look real hard to make sure he's asleep first. And I open my jaw like real wide, like snake wide, and just some venom starts slipping from the fangs, and I get real close to his face. And then I just reel back and pet his face. Miles.
You're starting to wake up to her petting your face.
Miles. Time for your watch.
My eyes open and it gets even brighter. Like I glow a little bit. It's subdued at night, but when I open my eyes, I light up a bit. See anything interesting?
Nothing.
Are you
Interesting.
Are you sleeping in the cart or out here by the fire?
Where is Teleps? Is he under the wagon?
Since Teleps is an elf, he was meditating or in trance or whatever, and he's coming to at this moment because he doesn't need 8 hours, 6 hours. He just needs 4 hours.
So where is he?
I guess he would have been below the wagon.
Okay, I'll go slither up underneath there, and I'll go curl up against him.
No.
So do you sleep like Teleps or do you sleep like Crisis?
Oh, I sleep like Teleps. But
Good to know.
warmth is nice. So is laying down and napping.
So I will be on watch with Miles.
Okay. So are you? Did you get up to leave Vitrascaith? You know, under the cart, I guess, or wherever you're at.
Okay, I'll go wander next to Crises and do the same.
Crisis is sleeping and snoring like super loudly.
That's fine. That's fine.
So either one of you can either you roll at advantage or you can each roll one dice if you'd like.
Oh, let's just roll and see what happens.
Okay.
5.
16.
Okay, so Carl hears, Teleps hears, like a crunch from the woods. Here, as you hear the chunk of snow get pushed down from something that's stepping through the snow, seemingly kind of heavy.
I elbow Miles. There's someone out there. And I shake the wagon to wake up Crises and Vitrascaith. There's someone outside.
I stomp on the fire just a little bit to put it down a bit.
Okay.
I
as
thought you
big,
wanted to
just
make
like-
friends.
You guys start to hear the it sounds like some kind of like a bear in the distance.
So does it sound like a bear or an owl bear?
Sounds like a bear.
Turn to Crises and say, I hear if you punch them in the nose, they'll leave you alone.
I hear if I stab it with this thing, it'll leave us alone. And I'm just gonna crouch at the edge of the wagon with my great axe and just wait. I don't like being woken up, especially when it's cold.
Yeah, you guys standing there, and you start to see it from the distance. Those, you see about 30 feet out in the distance. You see this coming out from the woods, the black, and you see it kind of like gray and its bones, and you see what looks like a skeletal polar bear steps out, and it just kind of seems to look around, and it seems to be encapsulated by the burned wood that you guys are kind of stepped a little back from now, as it's like sniffing at the wood.
Let me see if I
so
can.
cute.
Let me see if I can scare it away. Crisis, could you light up this arrow? And then I take a shot. Like I don't hit the owl, the bear, the skeletal polar bear, but I give it a warning shot.
Okay. Seems like unaffected. Like you say it looks at the arrow, seems confused, and then starts pawing at the ashes of the campfire.
Does the light from the arrow give us any more detail about the creature or our surroundings?
Yeah, so when the light hits near the side of the creature, you kind of see the full image of this creature, and it is a full scale polar bear, but it's its ribs are exposed. Doesn't look like it has a lot of its organs on the inside, and then what it does have is kind of black and basically destroyed or frozen inside of him. Half of his jaw is missing, and he looks like he has some kind of like axe wounds or some kind of heavy wounds that are cut into his right side as well, that are exposing some of his spine and his like back hip. And then with that jaw, he's just kind of, you see his blackened and gray teeth, as he's kind of like pawing and moving at this campfire.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, I want to go back to fucking sleep, and I'm gonna jump out of the cart and just like brandish my great axe and just scream as loudly as possible. Bear tactics. You just be like, ah, and just like try and scare it off, maybe.
Okay, so it looks up and it looks at you, and you're screaming and howling, and you're standing up there, doing your best sand person impression that you can. And it just looks at you and goes, and it just it starts getting aggressive, and then it starts to look like it's about to attack So go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. Good negotiations.
Negotiations were short.
A 12 for me.
12. Okay. Anybody get higher than a 15?
I got a nat 20, so 24.
Okay. Anybody higher than sorry, now 12. Anybody higher than a 10?
I got 10.
10. Okay. So, okay. And then, okay. Anybody higher than a 5?
Got a 6. I don't want to hurt it. It's cute.
Okay. So, that's everybody. So, first up is going to be Teleps, obviously, who is, lightning quick. And he sees this bear and starts to scream and howl, bare its teeth, and it's and it's looking like it's about to run it. Who would be? I guess it would be Crises. It's been howling, so it looks like it's about to charge Crises.
So I like to think that I'm like on the seat of the wagon. Like I was stood up there to get a good vantage point and take a shot.
Okay.
So if that's still the case, how far away would I say is the bear from Crises?
It's about 15 feet from Crises and about 30 feet from you if you're doing it that way.
Okay, well then I will use my bonus action to take aim and give myself advantage on the attack. And take a shot. 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
With advantage, the sneak attack is a total of 15 points of piercing damage.
15 points of piercing damage. Got it. Okay. The next round is going to be Crises.
All right. How far is it from me?
15 feet.
Cool. I'll just swing with my great axe. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
23 hit. So you hit.
Are you swinging from 15 feet away?
No, I go up there and I swing.
Yeah,
I
was
wish
like,
my great
man,
axe
that
was
is
that
a
big.
long great axe.
Yeah.
And that is going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And I'm really fucking tired and I don't like being woken up. So I'm going to action surge and attack again. And that's a nat 20.
Woo-hoo. Nat 20 for the day.
And that is another 16 points of damage. As I'm like, so I jumped off of the back of the car and I was like screaming and yelling at it, and then it starts screaming at me again. So then I just go like extremely still and quiet, and I just rush up like anime sprint 15 feet forward, and I both hands like swing the great axe down, and I'm like, let me go back to sleep. And then crash it down on its head.
Okay, so as your axe comes down, you watch. You see Celebs takes a shot and it hits the bear in the foot, and then Crises runs up and is like, "Let me go to sleep," and comes down in a jumping swing and just cleaves the whole head right off this bear. And it seems to clump to the ground and in a heaping rotting mass, and is now covering half of your campfire.
Fuck. And I'll just kick it off with the campfire. Fucking. Ugh. I'm not going to get a good night's sleep for weeks at this rate. And then I just go back in the cart and fall asleep.
Remind me never, ever to wake her up. It's not her time.
I'm tucking
Wake
Crises in.
wake they up. Excuse me. Wake them up.
Turn into a Crises burrito. Sorry.
A good precaution. Sensible.
And my great axe is still all like bloody and whatever. I'm just like curled around it like it's a toy or something and just like snoring away.
Yeah,
So at the end of our watch, I'm going to recommend that we all just quietly get in the cart and start going without like waking her up, and she can just like ride while we go. See how that treats.
I would. I'm a deep sleeper.
Them.
Yeah, that's fine. Crises seems to be able to sleep, just like anybody else would. I mean, get enough rest out of it. So you all finish a long rest as you start to travel again, and you're making your way, and you make your way another about 8 hours, and you start to see at the edge of town. You do see there is what looks like a house with like like looks like kind of like maybe a farmhouse, covered in snow, obviously at this point, with lights on, candlelight in the distance.
And you said this was the edge of a town?
No, this is like the edge of, I guess, the edge of the road. There's farm town. There's farm, not towns, but really farm. I guess they're towns.
Farmsteads?
Yeah, I would say it's farms. The way Gradagas painted it is they're farms. It's like maybe 5 or 6 farms of people that kind of huddle together, and then they trade, to the bigger cities, or they bring their harvest to the bigger cities. And so you see one of these houses closer to the edge of the road.
Look warm.
Do we wish to introduce ourselves, or should we keep to ourselves?
Why would we introduce ourselves? What's the point of that?
To prevail upon their hospitality?
What for?
A warm bed, or a warm barn, perhaps? Something that is less rough.
Not being woken up by skeleton bears in the night, maybe.
Yeah, do whatever.
I do not wish
Do
to
it.
force this upon you. I just suggested a possibility.
You couldn't force anything on me. Don't worry.
Not while I'm around, that's for sure. I'm fucking cold, boss, and I hate it. So maybe we could just, they said they're gonna help people out and be nice to people and whatever. And I need a good night's sleep if we're gonna do another 8 days of this.
For you, of course.
Thanks, boss. Crises is like curled up in the furs with like just icicles hanging off of them, and their dead eyes are like even more dead and like just gone completely as they're just like, the cold sucks. I hate this.
I mean, I am happy to see if we can negotiate any type of stay, unless any of you would prefer to take the lead in this regard.
Tulips. Use your tulips. Talk to him.
All right, so I will. All right, we'll just park the wagon a little bit far away so that they do not think that we are inviting ourselves, and then I will walk the rest of the way to knock on a door.
Yeah, you rap at the door. An older man comes out, middle aged. He's got gray hair, and he's probably about 5'6". He comes out and says, "Howdy, traveler. How can I help you?"
Hello, me and my friends. We are traveling to the Goldsport, and we were wondering if perhaps we could make camp on your ample farmlands, so as to, protect ourselves from the cold. We do not wish to trespass, but if this would be amenable, I could offer some recompense.
Oh, that's fine. Just come on in. Yeah, I can set you up here in the front here, next to the fire. You guys can kind of sleep here for the evening and just make your way. We hate for you guys to, have to sleep out in the cold, especially this time of year. You just come on in. It's just me and my wife, and you just can make sure you be a little tight, but I don't have any beds. But if you got furs and stuff, you can lay them down and sleep out here in the front room.
That is very kind of you. I'm Teleps Verdariana of the Evans Crest. What is your name, sir?
My name's Obadiah. It's nice to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you, Obadiah. I will fetch my friends in our wagon, and we will pull in.
All right. If you haven't eaten yet, I can have Lily bring out some stuff for you if you need something.
Oh no, that would don't go through the trouble. We have our own rations, but it's very kind of you to offer.
All right. Well, like I said, you're welcome to come in. Tell your friends out there and come on in. How many of there is you?
It is myself and 3 companions. I also have a dog and a horse.
the horse have to sleep outside. The horse can stay in the barn, but if you bring the dog in, if it's trained and isn't gonna destroy the house.
He's a very good boy.
Oh, good. It seems like you are one of them learned folks. So from maybe from the south. So yeah, you can come on in and make yourself at home.
Thank you. So then I go back. Oh, it's a very nice man. He is him and his wife. He has invited us in to stay. He has offered also to cook. I declined the offer since we have our own food. It seems like it would be putting them out too much. But they have offered to let us share their fire.
Is it warm in there?
It looked very nice.
I peel myself away from the cart and just trudge over there without a word. Worms. Must seek worms. I'm like a snake. I'm like cold-blooded. I need warm places around me.
Same.
As you walk in, there Lily is. She is a very tall woman. She's probably 6'2", and she is just shy of what would look like some kind of like heavy barbaric looking kind of lady. She is well built, muscly, and she looks at you guys and she goes, "Well, look what the Griffin dragged in. Now make yourself at home, and I'll I said, Obadiah said you didn't need none, but I got some dry stores for you. I can share with you some breads and cheeses if you're looking for. If you like Arnott cheeses, it's Arnott cheese is pretty good. We got some of that for you, and make yourself at home, keep yourself comfortable. We wouldn't want to have you put out." So she starts grabbing some stuff.
As she's talking, I'm just like trudging right past her and like going to wherever is the warmest place inside this abode. If there's a fireplace, I'm just like plopping down in front of it.
Yeah, so you see it's a stone fireplace in your cliche log cabin looking kind of place. So it's got the stone fireplace. It looks like it's got maybe 2 rooms. It's got like a room in the back, which looks like it's maybe a bedroom of some sort, and the room in the front is pretty much all one. It's like the fireplace, and it's got a smaller kitchen kettle that they can use, that they use for logs and heat, and then it's got basically like a sitting area where they can sit, and they've got some chairs and tables and stuff.
Just go sit down next to the fire as well and stare into it.
As you walk in, she smiles and she goes, "Well, hell yeah. Whoo! You got some crazy looking friends here." He said, "Where'd you get them horns from, dear?"
I was born with them.
"That's a mighty crazy look there. I've seen a lot of folks. I ain't never seen a horned elf before. That's a new one.
That's because I'm not an elf. I'm a dragon.
You're a what?
I'm a dragon.
Oh, you're one of them dragonborn folk. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. I never seen them, not scaled, but
No, I'm a real dragon. I'm a black dragon.
Yeah.
And she, as the Genasi walks in, right? She goes, "Oh dear." She leans over and she goes, "You one of them Genasi?"
Most people don't know what I am. You seem quite educated, ma'am. And what is your name?
My name's Lily. It's nice to meet you." She shakes your hand. She pulls you in close and she goes, "I think your friend may have the fever."
I think the same, but we're keeping an eye on her. She's mostly harmless.
We've got some herbs for you if you need some. We can share some. It may help it keep it at bay.
Sure. Can you make it a tea? All of us could do with a little bit, I think.
That's how you grind it and you put it in warm water. So.
Yeah. If you don't mind, if we could have some tea, that would be lovely.
I can certainly do that for you. And she starts to go back to the pantry. She's like, "Oh, welcome in, friend. Welcome in." She waves into lips and she grabs some more stuff off the shelves. She starts grinding out some leaves of some sort.
Kind of like scoot my butt over closer to Vitruscaith, and I'm just like, nice people, I guess.
This is gross. Everything's gross. I hate
Yep.
this. I hate everything about this.
Pat.
I take a seat next to Vitruscaith also. Miss Vitruscaith, Miles had mentioned earlier this morning or yesterday that you were a dragon, and this is fantastic.
I'm still a dragon.
I've never met a dragon.
Hello.
I've read about dragons all the time. I don't.
You're not like some fanboy, are you?
I don't think so. I have a lot of questions, and I don't know if they are. Like I said, I've never spoken with a dragon before. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask these things. Do you have like a horde? Is that a thing? Is that a real thing that dragons have, or is that
I've
just
had-
storybook nonsense?
No, I have had 3 hordes in my lifetime. I'm currently working on the 4th.
Wow, this is very impressive. When you say you've had 3 hordes, does that mean that you are fabulously wealthy and you just keep on because you enjoy creating the wealth that you just go and you create new hordes? Is that how it works?
Careful, boss. Looks like Tulip's looking for a sugar mama.
You won't find it here.
Lily,
find any sugar
Lily reaches in and goes. She looks at you and she hands you both some teas and she goes, "Here you go, Tulips, and here you go, madam." And she hands you both. Vitruscape. It's nice to help you. This is some good good herbal teas. It'll taste good for you. It's a little bitter and rough to the taste, but you get used to it after a while. Help out. It helps keep warm and feel better. And she hands, crises and Miles tea as well.
Is there any way you can tone down the
bad is it?
plant flavor?
Oh, that's what makes it so powerful.
I'm not drinking this. And I just set it down next to me.
Yeah, I was like, thank you. And I'll just sit it down too.
Do you have any honey or any sweet things that I can add to this?
I've got some apple slices if you'd like.
I will take this. Yes, in the south we are very much all about the tea that is sweet.
And she cuts up a piece of apple and she dumps it in your tea.
Hordes. Do you just keep on creating them like serially?
There is obviously it's great wealth to have a horde. You've got your resources, you have all of the magical items and the benefits that you gain from those. But
Naturally.
Also there is actual magic in the horde itself that makes you stronger. When a dragon has a horde, and Miles may wish to know this as well, being as fascinated as he seems to be, when a dragon has a horde, they cannot stray far from it, or else side effects will occur, almost like withdrawal symptoms.
So what has happened to your most recent horde?
It's buried, like the rest of them are as well. One is buried at the bottom of the sea. One is buried beneath like a mile thick layer of earth, and it sucked, Tulips. I don't know if I've ever cried before, but that day, I think my eyes became a little bit leaky.
That sounds awfully terrible.
Pat.
It was.
Etch kind of squeezes in between the both of you, trying to get underneath Tulep's arm. Remind Tulep that he's being rude and not petting him.
Forgive me. Well, is it your goal to return? Well, you said you have this at least 3 other hordes. Why would you not seek out one of these but you are instead trying to create another one?
It's been easier to accumulate a new one than it has to retrieve the old ones. However, that is not my thinking is I will do this now and then I will return to those afterwards. But I need a horde now, like right now, yesterday. I can't wait that long.
We're working on it, boss. Don't worry about it. You got your little bag of gold there. You're holding on to mine. It'll be all right. Pat, pat.
Oh, I see. I had not considered that the the wealth that was afforded to us is serving as some sort of touchstone for you. It did not occur to me that this would be used that way. I'm happy.
tulips would be real helpful if you wanted to, add to the pile.
If I have more
We
copper,
need
I don't
that.
care. Just coin. Give me the coins.
When we need that money for something useful to stay alive.
Is that all you think about?
She'll have
Think
it
about
on
the
her as long as
coins.
she's going anywhere.
Well, but will she give it over willingly? Based on the look in your eye, I don't think that's going to be the case.
You assume a lot.
Sure.
You tell me what you need it for, and I will tell you whether or not I have it for you. How's that?
Lily brings over some cheeses and bread for you guys to eat. She says, greed's one hell of a thing, darling, and really give you a madness.
Yeah, so I guess you're part of this conversation now because doesn't seem to be, rooms or much going on here.
Not much place to get away. So yeah, it is what it is. She hands you like a half a chunk of cheese.
Though we do not have much to share in gratitude that is owed, I do believe it's customary to leave some coin as thanks for hospitality.
Oh, you don't have to leave a thing, dear. It's.
But I believe it is customary.
She
Nobody
considers
in
your
this
offer.
place wants any money, it seems like. Apparently,
I
when you
mean,
live in the snow, you don't need coins.
Well, I mean, it's dear. Here, coins are less valuable.
I see that.
Well,
Hey, what do you know about Snowberry while we're conversing?
Well, Snowberry. Looks like where you guys came from. We're pretty much the last stop till there, but they're pretty nice folks out there. A little bit weird, but I guess we all are out here in the wastes. There's a nice small town. There's a brewing town, and it was established by a
All right.
half giant.
Nothing
man.
weird. You don't know anything weird?
I mean, what do you consider weird, darling? There's a lot of weird things that happen out here. I mean,
I don't know.
a lot of people think
anymore.
wastelanders are weird to you Southern folk.
Yeah, wastelanders. We ran into a skeleton bear or something. Is that like a wastelander?
Oh goodness. Usually that's you must have frightened it terribly. Usually the beasts and undead creatures, they kind of leave you alone if you're not here. Well, I'd say the beasts, I guess, leave you alone. But yeah, I mean, I've seen them before. They're quite dangerous. They sometimes eat some of our livestock if one of our livestock startles them.
Huh.
Well, thanks to crises, you have one less to worry about.
Well, wonderful.
Good talk.
Their ribs are rare,
How
Like
rare?
they're worth stuff.
Yeah, they're some people use them for some of the arcane arts, I think, and they go for a fine price.
Well, good to know now, I guess. Sorry, boss. I'm not familiar.
I don't want to go back, so no worries.
Yeah,
Well,
that was 8 hours
Lily,
ago.
if you travel 8 hours that way, you'll find a dead bear by an extinguished campfire. At this point, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, you don't like coins, but maybe you use some of those ribs, eh? All yours.
I mean, I'm not gonna go get it. I don't need coins either, darling. I mean, like I said, I'd sell a rib. I could trade it if one of the tankers was traveling by and had something I'd be interested in if I had the rib. But kind of a bartering system that's more common here. If you got skills or trades.
Speaking of bartering, we have all these furs and this covered wagon, but it's really fucking cold out there. You know what I'm saying? Do you have like warmer clothes or, a Canada Goose jacket? Oh, no, none of you are Canadian. You don't understand this reference.
Canadian Goose jackets are an international thing.
Okay, cool.
She says we have we keep here. Some of us keep out here in the wastes. We keep a heating orb if that's what you're looking for. But those those cost a fine price to keep them around you.
Crises is thinking, kill them and take the orb. But it's just going to stare at them with a very disconcerting look, like,
I mean, we could definitely sell or trade you one if you're looking. I think we might have a spare that we can part with.
yeah, I'm going to need that. So what do you need?
Well,
Do we need to, Crisis? Do we need to talk about this right now? Do we need to talk about this right now? Because we'll be leaving in the morning.
I mean,
Yeah. Where does one normally keep a heating orb anyway? Is it sort of like you leave it on the dining room table? Is it kept in your closet? Do you sleep with it at night?
no, dear, we keep it on our persons usually. It keeps us warm.
Oh,
She pulls out one out
It's
of her
like-
pocket and holds it out, and it's a small little red orb. She says it keeps me warm, as it heats the wearer.
it's like
as
a
magic.
personal orb.
Yeah, it's just basically it renders you less affected by weather conditions.
Huh. Seems nice. What would you want for one of those? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, how much livestock do you have?
We have tulips. You can keep him. He's great.
She's. They are so funny. This crisis.
He comes with a hunting dog and a horse, if that sweetens the deal.
Well, and she looks at the hunted dog, and she
Ha 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 ha. Miles is also very funny.
she goes, I mean, a dog and horse could maybe make it a little cheaper, but I'd be willing to keep, if you guys want to keep around for some labor, we can definitely keep you around for some labor. But there's 4 of you, and I only have 1 orb for spare, so
So, GM question. There is, so far, we've met the husband and the wife,
correct.
and it's just like a little log cabin. And there's no children that we have seen thus far. Crises files all of this information away and just goes back to staring at the fire, but not like first gives like a real long look at Vitrus Gaith, like a
Expressive eyebrows.
She smiles, says, well, if you can come to some arrangement on some of the things you might be interested in or think you can barter for, I'd be very okay with parting with one if you're interested. And she kind of like walks off to the bedroom where her husband's at to kind of converse. I'll leave you guys alone because I know you want some privacy. So,
yeah, I'm real tired.
She says, you can wake up, my husband wakes up pretty early in the morning, so to get things prepared for the day. So he'll see you guys out in the morning if you need, you need aid.
Thank you very much, Lily. Your hospitality is very most welcome.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sure she is saying no problem.
No problem.
I'm like curled up next to Vitrus Gaith in my fur thing, and I'm like, I want that fucking orb.
I know you do, dear.
I want both of them. We could have 2. You know what I'm saying, boss? These
Side look to Miles and Telefs, who were very nearby. I was like, well, we'll talk about it in the morning.
Rolls over. Burrito mode. Sleep.
Before you sleep, can I tell you both a story? All 3 of you, really.
Yes.
I haven't told you about this. Do you remember where I'm from, Teleps?
You are from the mainland, Baldur's Gate, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Baldur's Gate is a town with all sorts of people, all sorts of ups and downs. I was born into a more privileged one, and frankly, it bored me to tears. Baldur's Gate, like Heaven's Crest, was a little stuffy, and I just didn't feel like I belonged. So I used to sneak out at night and just get into fights with people just because I liked it. And you know what? One day I was walking down a street and I saw a young girl being beat up by some guys. So I jumped in there. It was great. You know the best part about it? I was stabbed repeatedly. I've never felt so alive in my life as the time that happened. It was a thrill that I've just, the first time, I've just never quite been able to get back to it again. And man, the thrill of stepping in and just fighting Mortal Kombat, almost dying, just to make sure someone got home safe. That was just a thrill I hope to have one day again.
Would you like me to stab you repeatedly, Miles?
Oh no, it's not about the pain, it's about the struggle. I mean, if you want to stab me repeatedly in Mortal Kombat, that would be a thrill. But short of that, so I'm not a masochist. I just love the struggle. Well, good night.
Miles, cannot just end the conversations there. I have questions about the story.
Sure.
You said you hopped in, so there was this woman being accosted by these people, and you jumped in. I assume you jumped in to aid the woman. Is that right? Is that it? Kind of goes with it. I didn't want to assume, but it kind of seems.
There were ruffians and muggers and just rough types who would get into a fight with you. But in that particular case, it just felt like, you know what? If things got out of hand, the law would be on my side. So things got out of hand, and I loved it. Every other time, I mean, you get in a fight in a scrap in a back alley, whatever. But I don't know if I cared about her so much as I just knew I could go full out and just see what happened. And it was great.
Weird bedtime story, hot stuff.
Yeah.
But again, just to make sure I have everything clear. You weren't joining in on the accosting of this woman. Is that?
Oh, no. Okay. I took that as an opportunity to just go full bore at a few other men, knowing that whatever happened, I'd be set. No. Okay. Paint me as the good guy, as the protagonist in that particular story. Not every story, but that one.
All right.
Thank you for sharing, Miles. I have a great.
We're all in a sharing mood. We're all in a sharing mood. I just thought that'd be worth sharing before bedtime. I'll take first watch.
Do we have to have a watch? And you're gonna watch over this Lily and other dude's name? Gonna murder us in our sleep?
Oh, one could only hope. We would be so blessed with something so exciting.
It's a real interest inside of you coming out from the cold there, Miles.
Yeah. What can I say? The cold gets me antsy.
I reckon, Ms. Vitruscase, that you are like me, and the necessity of sleep is not as great as others.
Correct.
Perhaps it would make sense that if we were, and I believe it is a good idea to keep watch, for one of us to be awake and while the other one is one of us to be alert while the other one is entranced, and vice versa.
I agree.
That way we always have multiple eyes.
That sounds like a
I'm
good plan.
sleeping the whole night.
I'll take the second half of the night.
Very well. I will keep Miles company.
Yeah, you all go through pretty much a comfortable sleep as you are in a nice home. And during the second watch, whoever's taking the second watch is, towards the end of it, Obadiah comes out to kind of get things prepped for the morning and says, "Hey, well, I'm just gonna get some stuff ready. Don't mind me." And he steps over some of you guys and is grabbing some breads and stuff for the morning.
Where are you going?
Well, I mean, you got to go out there and rustle up the cattle and do things we do. Well, that cheese don't make itself, darling.
Sure.
You know, so he grabs some bread, puts it in the thing, and it's like, "Are you guys needing anything? Are you guys good to go? I can get you some bread too. You got to make your way. I mean, we don't want to keep you any longer."
I look at Vitriscaith.
Am I out of trance yet?
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well,
Hey, what kind of labor would you want for one of those orbs?
you know, if you throw you throwing the horse and the dog in or no?
They're not mine to give.
No. Well, I mean, you're not throwing a horse and dog in. Probably about a week's worth of labor probably get you a orb. But if you throw a dog and horse in, we'll split in half. I think that's fair.
Crises gives. So, like with the shifts, I'm assuming that Miles and Teleps are sleeping, and Crises just looks real hard at this guy, looks at Vitriscaith, looks at Miles and Teleps sleeping, thinks about just cracking open this guy with the great axe, and then just smiles. I don't know if everyone's gonna be all right with that, but yep, I hate the cold, and I'll just settle back and just stare up at the ceiling and accept my fate in the snow.
I don't want to do anything before Obadiah exits the place. So
Okay.
I want to wait till he's not there anymore, and then I want to check and make sure that Miles and Teleps are in fact trance and
So
asleep.
Obadiah is spending. He's going to spend probably. He's not like leading, right? He's getting things prepped. So he's spending. He's probably going to spend a better part of what.
You just said he's gonna go wrestle some cattle. That's outside.
Yeah, not yet. He's going to today. So he's getting up at all in the morning. It's kind of like, think about it as breakfast, and then getting in the morning, waking up, and he's going to eat some breakfast and get ready for the day. So
Okay. Well, can I tell whether or not he's going to exit the place before?
you get the feeling in the next 10 minutes he's not leaving. If that better puts it in perspective. He's probably you get the gist. He's probably maybe waiting on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
she probably wakes up later than he does, and he just kind of gets with it. Maybe it's a routine thing. He gets up before she does.
Mm,
Because
Right.
he is setting her stuff out as well.
that complicates the concept. I'll just say that I need to go visit the little dragon's room and exit myself.
Okay.
Crisis is allowed to come as my general.
He points to a pot, by the way.
No.
You stepping outside, boss?
Yeah, if you can tolerate it.
Yeah, I'll come keep watch. Don't want you attacked by something.
Okay. Teleps and Matt's character will eventually be rising soon.
So we exit the place, and I'm going to pull Crises around, looking for where the approximation of the bedroom could be.
It's pretty much a square house, right? So like a rectangular house. So that's like the back third of it would be where the bedroom would be. But there's no back door.
Okay, is there a window in the bedroom? No window.
This is pretty much a door with a closed bedroom, and it's like I said, like a log cabin.
We should just kill them, right?
Well, that goes there an idea. Well, if we do that, then it will bring on a fight with Miles and Teleps. And do we want to lose them for the sake of heating orb?
Yeah.
That was of my mind too. I was going to turn into the husband and then go ask the wife for hers, and we'd be done, and no one would have to die, and no one would have to lose each other. But there appears to be no other entrances or exits in this place.
Do you think that's why Miles told us that super weird bedtime story?
Oh, I guarantee it. Yes. He likes to think he can intimidate us somehow for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I was just like, I don't know where this is coming from.
He does that a lot, in fact.
He does. So, well, I guess we won't have those orbs, but maybe we'll run into some dickheads that have heating orbs, and then we can take them off of them. And those two fancies in there won't mind so much.
If Obadiah left the house, then I would be able to assume his appearance, and go on with the plan through the front exit. However, I can't have him in the house. Is there any way that you could pull him out of the house, perhaps for a journey out there in any way?
We can always try.
We'll say it's a bear and a bear is attacking the cattle. How's that?
Smart thinking, boss.
All right.
Oh no. Come back into the house. I got my great axe over my shoulder. I'm like, yo, there's one of those skeleton bears out there. He's just causing some havoc with the cattle. Can you come and accompany me while we take care of that?
I'm up. I will help.
Yeah, come on, Teleps. Come on, Miles. Miles, you up? Come on.
I'm awake, and I'm gonna roll a slight insight check to see if I run with them or decide to stick around for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me either a crisis, whatever you want to use, either performance or deception. Either one's, I think, fine in this case.
I roll a 17 for deception.
Oh, and insight is probably crap. 13.
Okay, so Obadiah looks at you and says, "Oh dear," and he walks into his room. And he says, "Darwin, there's bear coming in," and he grabs basically a great sword that's about his size, and he kind of just whips it around surprisingly with old man strength, and is like, "Well, let's go," and he takes off outside, assuming you're going to be leaving just as quickly as he is.
I'm just gonna run him out there.
Okay, so he runs out towards wherever direction you're running. Where are you running? Are you running
Towards the cattle, I guess, and the barn?
Yeah, okay, so you're just running towards the barn. Okay.
Was it like the other one from the last night?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. It just seemed big, and all the cattle started freaking out, and figured I'd get everyone out here.
How far away are the cattle?
How far away are the cattle?
About 200.
You saw them by the cattle. Where are they?
200 feet.
Yeah, it's snowing real heavy. We just got to keep going. We got to chase it down, right? I want that rib. Those ribs are valuable, right? We got to go looking for this thing.
Okay, so they're all running towards that direction, way past you at this point. They're probably about 60 feet into the snow. Bitchskate.
Did I see the wife come out at all or anything?
No, but you do hear stirring in the thing. She's obviously probably getting dressed and putting something on.
Okay, I'll slink away first, and then I will use alter self to become Obadiah.
Okay, you are Obadiah.
And then I'll wait for a moment, not too long, but just long enough so that I could have seen something or not seen something, and then I'll walk into the bedroom.
Okay, and she is probably half donned, and what looks like some kind of breastplate that she's putting on.
Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. I've shocked him. I've shocked him so much with my accent.
I love this so much. Oh.
Where's everybody else at? Where's everyone else?
Oh, they're coming along. I don't know what they're doing. They're weird people.
Yeah, weird, but like I told you last night, that bitch Skate has got a mad fever. I don't think she's gonna make it through the winter if she keeps saying she's gonna be a dragon. So she may be in the last stages of a brain fever. And she starts to doff the breastplate again and sets down her great axe.
Darling, would you pass me your heating orb? We got a deal that's going on right now. One of them mentioned they were gonna offer services.
Why do you need mine? Why don't you just grab the one out of the dresser?
Oh, thank you. This is why I married you. I'll go and I'll grab the one out of the dresser. I was like, thanks, darling. And I'll go.
She looks at you really weird. She's confused and she's like, yeah, love you too, darling.
Right.
It's like,
see you in a minute.
like starts taking off her breastplate again. Working on taking her breastplate off.
Okay. So I'll get back outside, and as soon as I'm out of eye shot, I'll resume myself.
Okay, we're gonna feed back to the three of you. Okay, you are all running towards the cattle, and the cattle are all standing there. There's probably about 40 or 50 Arnoks that are just like, and they're like chewing what looks like the grass. They what they do is they basically clean out all of the snow in the area as these beasts of burden kind of like their low coats kind of scrape the ground, and it clears up these deep grass roots that they can eat.
That's weird. I definitely thought I saw it here. Doesn't seem to be any tracks either. This is a weird fucking place you guys live in.
Obadiah's like standing there and he looks and he goes, you said it was a bear.
We gotta go hunt it down though. Miles, Tulips, let's get back in the car. We gotta go run this thing down because those ribs are gonna be worth something. You heard what Boss said. She needs her dragon's hoard. We gotta do a little bit to, add the coinage to it.
Do I believe this nonsense?
Roll.
That's a 22 for deception.
You're right.
Obadiah,
I guess that's the thing.
Obadiah grabs you by the chest as Miles and leans in close, and he just says, I don't know what's going on, friend, but my wife might be on something. You really need to take some of those herbs before you leave for your group and friends, because they may be in the bad stages of brain fever, and I don't want to be the person that has to kind of bury you guys along the way.
Well, we've been keeping an eye, but whatever you can spare of the tea would be appreciated.
Third herb on the shelf, right? And he starts to make his way back towards walking to the house.
I'm gonna go get that bear, and I just run towards the car. I'm like, Boss, come on, we're gonna go get the bear.
Do you hear that? Is it enough time passes? I was like, what, where?
We're gonna go get it. Those ribs are gonna be worth something. Come on, Tulips. Come on, Miles. Thank you so much for your hospitality and all that jazz. Be seeing you.
Hop in.
And I hop onto the front of the cart.
I grab some herbs and catch up.
Yeah,
Thank you
see
so
the cart
much.
starting to ride off as you're like stuffing herbs in your bag. Obadiah's like, what is you guys got some issues? And he walks in. He's like, dear, I told him to take some more herbs. And she was like, I told you she was messed up, And he's like, all right. And he just kind of walks back in.
I call out, Lily, thank you so much for your hospitality. And I'm catching up to the wagon.
She says, carry on, have a good time. And, and she walks back in the house and closes the house. And yeah, Vitchescape has a heating orb. How that works, Vitchescape, is pretty simple. It's just a heating orb. So as long as somebody's holding it, you are immune to exhaustion conditions caused by cold weather.
If Crises is driving, I'll just a hand comes from the back in the wagon.
Okay, Crisis. You see the small, almost looks like a small red rock, and then it's got this soft glow to it. And as you grab it, the second you touch it, it's like all of a sudden you just feel good. You just feel warm. It's not cold anymore. You're not. It's almost like something's blocking you from thinking it's cold and feeling good. And then you can stuff in your pocket. And
Boss.
It was easy.
And with that note, we will end here for the night on your next trek for the next day on going towards the crossroads and then eventually to Goldsport. For all our viewers, I really appreciate you guys watching today as my wonderful heroes steal from Poor Farm Spoke. So look forward to seeing you guys next week, and you get to see some interesting characters and see what else they meet on their way to Goldsport and into the crossroads. So until next time, appreciate it, guys. Like I said, Cal and Mikhail at Cal and Mikhail on Twitter. So.
Yes. Oh, hi, I'm Lily. Hi, I play D&D. I'm Lily. And sorry, I was still in Crises cold mode. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Just a Little Nerd. And over to Matthew.
I'm Matthew. You can find me on Twitter at MatthewKenRBM and here every Wednesday at this time and place. And over to Casey.
I'm Casey, KCH on socials, as well as here. And this time, you can also find me Fridays at 7 p.m. CST, 8 EST, playing Echoes in the Ether at twitch.tv/Sabrick, SAEBRICK. We're doing a spooky game about nightmares and regrets in the Planescape setting. And then on Saturday mornings, back here at Open for Adventure, we are doing, me and Carl, that is, who's also in the Planescape game. We are playing Saturday mornings, Half-Rate Heroes, where we're level 15 characters fighting in a secret war against our Goddess of Darkness and Loss. It's metal, so you have to say it like that. Okay, over to Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl. You can find me on Twitter at Carl from the Net or everywhere else as the Silver Tree. And as Casey said, you can find me at those places at those times. And back to Callan to send us out.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, we'll look to see forward to you on episode 5 of Strands next Wednesday. Until then, we'll see you.
Bye.